What is up, guys? Alex here with another tutorial video. This one's just going to be a quick one on creating 3D just images or even 3D sprites. You can make them out of little Lego blocks, like the Lego block method. So here, we're just going to start real quick. I'm just going to jump into it. We got our little canvas here. We're going to make ourselves a square. We're going to use Shift and left click and make these little square lines. Makes this little perfect square here. Now from here we can pretty much copy and paste everything that we need to make this 3D object. So this isn't going to be perfect for some people in the comments. They're going to talk about isometric shapes. They get smaller as you get further back, but it's good enough for beginners. So we're going to make the brick like this one over here on the left. We're going to put on this left side. We're going to, just for our own, since we're beginners, we're just going to get rid of the lines that we shouldn't be able to see behind first. And now we're going to connect all the sides. Using that same shift line, shift line, shift line. Now these lines aren't perfect. We can go in here and see I've cleaned these up here. I made everything straight. I made it exactly a unit cube, so it goes up and over one unit. But even this shape right here works. Like, look, it bows out a little bit, but so what? We got ourselves a little block here. Now we can just color our block like it should be. We're going to take the dark side. We're going to color the shadow side. We're going to get rid of that line we shouldn't be able to see. We are going to color the light side here. Then we'll color the side on the top, and again, we shouldn't be able to see that line behind, so we're just going to come in here with a little eraser tool, not be too precise. We're just going to grab it. Now we can take this object, we can actually copy and paste it next to itself, and now we've created however we want. We can create it short, get rid of these lines, create it long, so we can create any length thing. If we have perfect ones like this, we can create perfect squares. So of course we can copy and paste this down here, copy and paste it again. Now we've got ourselves a long line of Legos. We can copy this whole thing, make it a 2 by whatever. You can take one of these cubes here. So let's just take this thing here. Let's copy it over here, and I want to shrink it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the top of this whole thing here. I only need like this. Bring it down. Now we got ourselves a short one, and all we have to do is take our little eraser tool. We're not going to be too exact here, but you get the idea. We just have to erase all this out. Reconnect these lines. See, I guess we didn't pull down the whole thing, so we can go back here, just pull it all the way down. So I guess we get this whole piece here. Just mess that up a little bit, but whatevs. I just didn't want to do the erasing down here and figuring out these lines. But you just have to redo lines sometimes. But look, this is easy. You just follow this line up here, and you just connect this one right here. So if we just zoom in, we're going to get our eraser again. Erase all this. Follow this line above, so we'll just start right here and just one. So that's a really thin one. That's probably too thin. We probably should have started there. Get our eraser again. Whoops. Close enough. But you get the idea. We just do this all the way down. Clean it up a little bit. You can see that it just takes a little bit cleaning this pixel art. We won't dwell on that. But then when we zoom out, we got ourselves a lower version platform. Now what can you do with all these different things, different shapes? You can also do circles. I mean, another thing you can do here is get the circle tool, create yourselves, oh, I always forget about that. Create yourselves a circle here. Grab that circle, copy, paste. Bam, you got yourself a cylinder. If we connect this, we can do the same thing, shading, light, middle, dark, or we can make this a different size. make it a different shape, make it like a thing like this. We'll see what that looks like. Don't even know how this will come out. Just kind of doing it on the fly here. See if you just connect. We'll undo that. We'll do a straight line thing so we get a nice straight line. I don't know why that didn't work. See, now we have this shape here. Now we can imagine it actually should maybe curve a little more like this. But so what? We can have it open like that, and we can just start coloring it in. So let's put our lightest on the top, as the sun's up there. Oh. Well, it's open, so we won't even mess with that. But you get the idea. And then we'll put our dark on the bottom, or maybe we can't even see the bottom. It's kind of facing forward, so we get rid of this line in the back here. To color this one, it'd be more like a light, darker, dark, and then you get that shading pattern. Same thing up here. But anyway, so what can you do with all these tools? So let me just show you my other layer. Well, first off, after you have these blocks, I create a little scene like this. We can zoom out again. Create a little scene like this in a little box. This is all just blocks. Here I erase the lines. Here are the lines are still here. So we can go to the next layer. You can see I started erasing all the lines, and now I've got myself a little scene. And again, I'm not very good at all at creating 3D art. I can't think of perspectives, but you can just create all these different shapes just thinking about it. So on this one right here, this shape right here is just, if you delete the lines, this line right here, and this line right here, and this line right here, this one right here, and this one right here, and then connect the remaining lines, you have that shape. So that's all you gotta do is just erase these lines, erase what's there. So we'll just do it here real quick. So we're gonna take this guy right here, copy him, paste him. Oh, we're on the wrong layer. Copy, paste. Take my eraser tool, go down to 1 pixel. We're going to erase this line because this line's gone. It's no longer there. This line's not a line anymore. This line's not a line anymore. This base still exists, but this whole front is gone, right? If we chop this in half, this whole front side would just be gone. So we've got to erase all this. It's not there anymore. All right? This right here, this line right here doesn't exist. This line right here doesn't exist, and this is like slant, so we don't really know where this goes, but we can kind of just guess. But just kind of doing that, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take our dark color, our pencil, we're going to connect these lines again. There's that one. There's that one. Now it's a little bit wide. To make this a cleaner look, you'd want to follow the same pattern here that you did. So like 2, 5, 3 or whatever. Here it just looks kind of wonky because these two slopes are different, but that's okay. Maybe our thing is wonky, right? So it gives it a more realistic view whenever stuff's wonky anyway. And now we got ourselves a little halfway slice that we can copy. It's not like, again, it's not cleaned up, but now we can copy and put them next to each other. And look, it's fine. It can be wonky, no big deal. Now we've got ourselves a roof that we can use, or maybe an awning or something. This is just a little tiny thin square that I put there, and then I colored in right beneath it what I thought the shadow would be hitting. You'll notice as we go along, I'm going to do a different layer here. As we go along, I practice my shading, but my shading is kind of off here. This shadow should be back here probably. The light's coming in from this direction. It makes this spot really bright. This back here would be dark. There'd be a shadow probably cast right here. This shadow would be a lot more angled. This thing would be a lot more angled. You'll see I even messed up later here on the later one. I did the shadow straight down. It should be over a little bit, but I'm just practicing, right? Just getting the shading right. These are shading tips, so we won't really go into that. We're going into more shapes. But look, there's all different things you can do. You can make staircases. Put that up next to your guy. Make a little silo thing here. I was trying to make a tree out of this guy. I was practicing with barrels. So a quick tip on curves is that these curved lines on an object, if you look at like a cup or something like that, these curves curve a lot right here at the end and then start smoothing out. So people always make these curves too shallow. So then you see, you can see you really want to curve a lot. Both of these are curving a lot. It's practically like a barrel, and this is like maybe a pot of gold or something. You can imagine it here. But yeah, so that's my quick tip on the isometric buildings. Just build yourself some Lego blocks. You could do the same thing for people. Like if you just create shapes for your guy, then you can kind of build out your guy. Make him out of blocks first, and kind of his general shape, and then start carving away at the blocks, erasing what doesn't belong. It's almost like sculpting, so 3D sculpting, and that way you can get like almost a 3D image. You can see what should be shaded, put stuff in front of other stuff. You can make triangle shapes, or you can make just make your guy basic geometric shapes, and then sort of whittle away at him to make him a defined object. All right, well, stay tuned next time for more quick tips, and don't forget to like and share if you got value out of the content.